Hare Krishna. We continue reading from Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter 8, Attaining the Supreme, text 27. Naite Sriti Partha Jana Yogi Muyati Kaschana Tasmat Sarveshu Kameshu Yoga Yukto Babarjana. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Although the devotees know these two paths, O Arjuna, they are never bewildered. Therefore, be always fixed in devotion. So we have been hearing Krishna saying that one who lives in the light never comes back to the material world. But one who lives in the darkness goes to the moon planet and comes back. Now he's saying the devotees know all this, but they are not concerned about this, not bewildered. They are not concerned about this. Why? Because they are fixed in their love of Krishna. They are completely dependent on Krishna. Whatever Krishna wishes. They know that they just simply have to serve Krishna. Krishna is here advising Arjuna that he should not be disturbed by the different paths the soul can take when leaving the material world. So we could also get disturbed, oh, Krishna is saying you have to live in the light, then I can get liberated. If I live in the dark, I will get, come back. So then we may come into anxiety. Oh, what to do? I must live in the light, I must live in the light. But it's not in our hands. It's not in our hands when we are going to die. But what is in our hands is we can serve Krishna. We can become devotees of Krishna. A devotee of the Supreme Lord should not worry whether he will depart by arrangement or by accident. The devotee should be firmly established in Krishna consciousness and chant Hare Krishna. So how can we be firmly established in Krishna consciousness? We chant Hare Krishna. By chanting Hare Krishna, by the mercy of the Panchatattva, we were just hearing in Caitaniya Caritamta, the mercy of the Panchatattva, then we can become Krishna conscious. And then it doesn't matter. We are dying by accident, by arrangement, when, where, how, doesn't matter. You should know that the concern over either of these two paths is troublesome. The best way to be absorbed in Krishna consciousness is to be always dovetailed in his service. And this will make one's path to the spiritual kingdom safe, certain, and direct. So the best way we can become Krishna conscious is act for the pleasure of Krishna. My dear Krishna, this is my service to you. Krishna, so then we may say, what, 24 hours I have to just take my japamala and chant? I have so many other work to do. I have so many duties to perform. Krishna says to Arjuna in Bhagavad Gita, you do your duty for my pleasure. Do it in such a way that is pleasing to me. Don't get attached to the results of your activities because that will bind us to the material world. But when we act for the pleasure of Krishna, we become Krishna conscious and we can go back home, back to Godhead. Now one may say, how can we fix our mind on Krishna? How can we work for the pleasure of Krishna? And Lord Chaitanya taught us how to do that in Kali Yuga by chanting the Hare Krishna mantra. We chant our prescribed rounds. We are advised to chant 16 rounds minimum every day and follow the 4 regulative principles. By doing that, we can become fixed in Krishna consciousness. The word yoga yukta is especially significant in this verse. One who is firm in yoga is constantly engaged in Krishna consciousness in all his activities. Yoga yukta, firm in yoga. What yoga are we talking about? Bhakti yoga. Thinking of the Supreme Lord, working for the pleasure of the Supreme Lord. That is Bhakti yoga. Srila Rupa Goswami advises anasaktasya vishayan yatharham upayujyata. one should be unattached in material affairs and do everything in Krishna consciousness. So, working for the pleasure of Krishna. This is what Rupa Goswami is saying. By this system, which is called Yukta Vairagya, one attains perfection. So, understanding that everything belongs to Krishna, everyone belongs to Krishna. So, everything and everyone should be engaged in the service of Krishna. That is Yukta Vairagya. Prabhupada would give us the example that there is some money fallen on the floor, and one man comes along, he says, "Hey, I found some money, finders keepers." So he takes it for himself, then goes, buys some cigarettes for himself, and that's how he uses the money. Then another man comes along, says, "Oh, this is not my money, I'm not going to touch it," and walks away. The third man comes, he says, "Oh, there's money on the floor, let me see who it belongs to. Let me go give it to the person who it belongs to." So who is the best of the three? The one who takes the effort to find the owner and return it to the owner. So the first one is finders keepers. That is when we say everything is for my enjoyment. Finding so many things here in the material world, everything is for me to enjoy. That is the first one. And the second one, oh no, I need to renounce. I'm a renunciate. No, I'm not going to touch anything. I'm renouncing. But the third one is the devotee, that he understands everything belongs to Krishna. Everyone belongs to Krishna. And so because he understands it, he engages everything. He engages everyone in the service of Krishna. That is called Yukta Vairagya. That is real renunciation, true renunciation. By simply saying, no, okay, this doesn't belong to me, or by simply saying, okay, I give up attachment to this. That is not real renunciation. Why? Because it never belonged to us in the first place. So how can we say we give it up? If it didn't belong to us, then what are we giving up? You know? So the real renunciation is understanding that everyone belongs to Krishna. So everything and everyone should be engaged in the service of Krishna. And if we can facilitate that, then we are acting on the platform of Yukta Vairagya. Therefore, the devotee is not disturbed by these descriptions because he knows that his passage to the Supreme Abode is guaranteed. How? He's gotten a guarantee to go to the spiritual world. The devotee is not concerned. I'm going in light, or I'm going in dark. Is it an accident? Is it an arrangement? He's not concerned how he's going to die, where he's going to die, what time he's going to die. Why? Because he knows he is going back home, back to Godhead. Why does he know? Because he's engaged in the service of the Lord. He has firm faith in the words of the Supreme Lord, and he has firm faith in the words of the acharyas. Krishna says, you think of me, you engage in my service, you will come back to me. Krishna says that in Bhagavad Gita. So we just engage in service of Krishna, and rest assured, we will go back home, back to Godhead, engaging in service of Krishna by following the rules and regulations, following the instructions of the spiritual master. Yeah. Engaging in service of Krishna begins by hearing and chanting. Hearing and chanting. So it's important for us to continue hearing and chanting, following the four regulative principles. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so did anyone have any question or comment?
No.
No. Okay, thank you so much for listening in and joining in. Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, aur Bhaktivinoda ki jai. Hare Krishna.